All right, joining us again, and we're going to continue with our Kabbalistic slash samurai approach, and we see what we can come up with it. In the Bushido culture, which is the lifestyle or the way, the code of the samurai, a warrior, is not just being judged by his physical power, but rather and mainly by the depth of his commitment to the goal, to the values, to the virtues, and for his inner path. This commitment is not a momentary excitement, something that comes like all of a sudden like this, but rather almost a covenant that is engraved in the heart, that there's no retreat from that. One of the symbols, for example, that the samurais always adopted to themselves is basically a dragonfly. And you know why? Because the dragonfly always goes forward, doesn't go backwards. So, and they don't retreat whether it's pain, whether it's doubt or threat. You find this kind of concept in small groups of people almost all over the world. Whether it's going to be the Greek mangas, if you know what a manga is a certain character that has it, or in the samurai. And believe it or not, as much as we would like to not admit it, even by us in Judaism, as a Torah observant person. So that covenant is a choice that you make every single day to face daily with a complete recognition and responsibility of your duties. Just like us. In the Kabbalah, the concept of commitment, and we try to, throughout the years, operate in our setting here through the concept of commitment, dedication, and then balance. And we're going to go through them, slowly, God willing. So in Kabbalah, the concept of commitment really echoes as a concept of constant working, doing something all the time, constantly. And that work, that is Avodah Shebalev, the inner work, the work that you do with your heart, that awareness and working on your midot, on your qualities, on your virtues, and how you think and operate. This is not a quick perfection. You're not going to take a pill and you're going to be perfect with it all the time immediately, but rather a constant motion, a constant movement that one is committed to himself to be in. The Ari, Rav Yitzchak Luria, alav shalom, teaches us that the soul of a person, of any person, came down to this world to do one specific tikkun, one specific fixing. And that commitment is not only to an external mission, but rather to, call it this way, for lack of better terms, the cosmic destiny of the soul itself, to fulfill that divine spark that it's within it or within us, ourselves. So when you take these two concepts and you just kind of try to put them together, you could really see a tremendous secret, a tremendous idea. That commitment is not a vessel to reach the goal, but rather itself is a spiritual path that teaches us to stay loyal to the source, to stay loyal to our values and virtues, to stay loyal to the truth, to stay loyal to the covenant between us and God. The samurai knows the famous line from the Bushido, the way is the goal. The way is the goal, to be on as we have it also. Right? He's what we say, he's off the derech. Off the derech means off the path. This is a path, this is a way of life. This is not a religion. If you approach Judaism as a religion, you're missing the whole beauty of it. It's a way of life. And in Kabbalah we says, Bederech she'adam rotze leilech molichim oto. In a place, in a path that a person wants to go, that's the path that that will be going. In other words, call it this way, God or the universe or whatever it is, always respond to a person who does not go back on his words. If you say you're going to do something, as they say in for example, in the Greek culture, and I know that many people can say, oh, Greek culture, Kabbalah. No, it's okay, let's just chill out a little bit. In the Greek culture, they say words that were written could never be erased. In other words, you got to stay loyal to your word. You got to stay loyal to your commitment. So if you commit yourself to the path, whether it's through the process of tshuva and through the process of daily improvement and being on this path, the so-called the universe would respond to you. God would make it happen that your goal is going to be achieved because you're committed to your word. And reality is going to be adjusted based on the purity or lack of purity of your will. Whatever you want, you choose. So, and we learn from this, the commitment does not start with one moment of decision. No, it starts at the moment that we stop looking for a way out. In other words, when we stop looking for loopholes, when we stay as loyal as we can to our commitment to what we decided to, how we're going to interact with God in His world, stop looking for a way out. That's where your commitment starts. And that's why most people say, well, I made a promise to myself that I'll do blah, right? Mm-hmm. And they never come up to it. Why? Because from the moment that they made that decision, all they're looking at is to way out, a door out, not to go on it. And that's why those things never happen. So if we're going to finalize this, we're going to say that a person who is truly committed does not ask when I'm going to reach this goal, but rather, did today I progressed even one step, but one step that was truthful? And that's the question you need to ask. Have a great day.